So it is that time of the year again when I'm sitting down with my notebook and sharing my thoughts and collecting all the great memories that have come from this year and from the previous years that led up to this year. And I felt the calling to create this video message for my friend Dominic, actually, because we got a story. What is this story? Well, let me tell you. This story starts in the far land of Estonia in Europe. And we traveled together to Estonia because we believed we would get answers to our questions. The questions I had for myself were about the future of my health. I was really wondering if I'm gonna make it another 5 years. I was really wondering if I'm gonna make it another 6 or 7 years, because I've just been to the hospital because I had a lung infection, and so I had lung issues, and I had to spend time in the hospital because of that. And it was not comfortable. I was alone in the hospital. Nobody could visit me, and I had to grapple with the thoughts of how am I gonna get back? How am I gonna recover? And I was deeply touched by this experience because I, at that point, lost faith in my capacity to control my body. I lost faith in my capacity to, create a routine for myself. I lost faith in the capacity to, better myself in many ways. And I knew I that was not something that should or could go on. That thought process of mine was not helpful to me or the people around me. Some friends even called me out on that. Why am I acting so weird these days, Patrick? And yeah, I didn't talk about it at the time, but looking back at it now, I'm honest with myself, and maybe I should have told people. So because of this experience, I knew I needed help. And where else is someone gonna ask for help from than from one of their best friends? And so I came across this opportunity that's about, you know, almost a university training like experience, except in the qualities of health and the qualities of the mind. And it's called Mind Valley University. Mind Valley University. And I decided to go there. Uh, in retrospect, this was one of the best decisions of my life. But I didn't know that this was going to be a great deal. All I knew is that I had a calling to be there, and I had a calling to, learn about how I can take control again of my own health. And so yeah, well, and I had a plan. It was a interesting plan for sure, but at the time I didn't, have the capital or the money to travel to distant lands. And so I figured out it would be a fantastic idea to convince my friend Dominic to support me in this transformational journey. And so I had this conversation with him, and he laughed and said, "Okay, there's no need to convince me. I think you're in. We're going together." And I was so happy. So, and yeah, and I told him, I'm gonna, reward him. I'm gonna pay him back 10 times the money that I got from him, because I wanted to be, a force of certainty, a force of reward, a force of gratitude for that. And yeah, so it was so transformational. It was so great to be in Estonia with him. I learned so much about health. I learned so much about love, about what it's like to live life in an amazing, passionate, and creative way. And it was just the best transformation that I've ever had. And since then, it has been a lasting change in my life. So I thank Dominic. I thank you, Dominic, for giving me the chance to, recover after the hospital and, take back control and, live life to the fullest thanks to this transformational journey that you allowed me to go on to. And since then, you know what happened? Well, I still have not figured out a way to reward Dominic with 10 times as much as the capital that he used to, allow me to go on this journey with him. So I had a plan, yes. My plan was to, use the scholarship that I have or had in Canada. And because of the generous scholarship, I had a little bit of pocket money. And then I also had this fantastic idea to apply to the biggest physics laboratory in the world and get money for that internship exchange. And that would have been a fantastic opportunity for me, and that would have granted me, a financial freedom to reward my friend so that I can give back to him as much as I think he deserves, or even more. And so what happened? How come I haven't done that just yet? Well, the honest truth is that I have not got accepted to the physics laboratory that I really wanted to go to. Maybe it's a gift of life that I haven't, maybe it wasn't. But so yeah, that source of revenue, went out the window. And then the time came to either continue with the plan that I originally had, or to, make a new decision that will, transcend the trajectory forward. What was that new decision that I was about to make? Well, I needed a tool. I needed a tool for coding, actually. I was in a place where I tried to convince people who are way smarter than me, people who are way more talented than me, to come on this grand journey with me to try to help diabetics so that they can have a better life. And I was unsuccessful. I could not convince any of the people that I tried to convince to help me with this coding. So I figured I needed to learn how to code on my own just for the sake of helping people. And so how was I going to do that? I didn't have the right equipment. I didn't have the right licenses. I didn't have the right tools. So I knew everything starts with step one. And step one was to buy a computer. So I bought a computer that was equipped with the right kind of licenses and with the right kind of frameworks so that I could use that computer to learn how to code and create software for health, software for a good well-being. And so I ended up spending the majority of my resources on a new computer. And that computer has been used every day since. What was it used for? Well, it was used to create a software that can help people run, help people row in the rivers, help people climb the mountains that they seek to climb, and help people, lift heavy weights, break personal records, and enjoy their personal lifestyle choices the way they want to. And I think it's an empowering tool, and it's in the making. It's not finished yet, but I'm really happy that I get the chance to, you know, care about this certain quality of life that I believe other people should get the chance to cultivate and live up to. So I'm very grateful for the fact that I got to make a decision like this, thanks to all the circumstances that have been around me. And I'll continue to go back to write some good thoughts down into my notebook now. But before I do, I wanted to say thank you for giving me all this greatness, the chance to come back with a brand new attitude towards life and with a brand new, you know, positivity. And I'm very grateful for this. And I'll always be. So, yeah. And the journey continues.